Hello, everyone, and welcome to our 7-day challenge. Today, I am going to be talking to you specifically around the concept of planning ahead. Now, I know a lot of you guys are parents of even 6th, 7th, 8th, or so graders. So today, I want to talk to you a little bit about planning ahead and the importance around that, because so many people wait until the last minute when it comes to the college admissions process and understanding what it takes to get in. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put a link here. One of the things I had done early on is I created a book that literally outlines what a student should do every single month when it comes to starting in high school. And that book has been very helpful to so many people. So I wanted to go ahead, we offer it for free on our website, where you can literally get it and just cover the shipping and handling. And it's a great book for anyone that has a 7th grader, 8th grader, even a college student. This book can be incredibly helpful. So I'm going to go ahead and post that below right here, if you are interested in getting that book for you. Now, I will tell you a little bit about the importance of planning ahead in today's video, because there are a lot of ways to get involved in your child's educational future. So today I want to talk about the top 3 tips when it comes to planning ahead. So one of the first things that I always tell people is that there are a lot of people in the world that like to talk about their dreams, discuss it over lunch or a cocktail party. But until it's actually planned out, scheduled, and put into the calendar and executed, it doesn't really happen. So while there are lots of talkers and dreamers out there, I'm all about the doers. And it's the people that plan ahead that are highly successful and get things executed. Now, when we talk about planning ahead, curious, I see a lot of people logging in. If you can hear me, please say yes below. Just say yes. That way I know, because we have had a few technical difficulties. But I want to talk a little bit about the importance of specifically getting the help that you need early on. Now, there are a lot of ways to plan ahead. When you look at kind of the trajectory, I'm going to kind of show a document here. Let me go ahead and pull this up, and let's go here. So let's say that you've got a middle school student. So what are the things that need to be focused on when you're a middle schooler? Number 1, class choices. Number 2, grades in those classes. Did you know that, so these are the 2 main focuses. Now, did you know that most middle school students don't even think about their grades or the effects of it? See, when it comes to these, like, depending on how they do in classes, can completely change the type of high school experience they have. So, for example, if your child makes B's, C's, D's, they are permanently omitted out of honors classes. So, literally, you have to take a look at this and think, okay, well, if the middle school student is having to look at their class choices, sometimes honors is available, so you always want to shoot for that. Of course, this is in regards to students that can absolutely handle these classes. I'm not telling you you should absolutely do honors and then bomb the classes. I'm saying that these are for the students that really, understand the importance of looking into that. But also understanding, plan ahead, because what happens is you can decide if your child ends up in honors classes. Now, if they are not doing well in school, it hurts their chances, and then later it affects the types of colleges they go to. So that's really important to note when you're looking at middle school students, is to understand that high school choice is a big deal. That's another thing I'll write down here. High school choice, big deal. If you're choosing between a public or private school, That makes a big difference. The type of schools you're looking at, that makes a difference in the college process. So when people tell me like, oh, I want to get into a top college, I think it starts at 11th grade. Well, you're actually totally wrong. It started a lot earlier than that. It started in middle school when you decided to make certain grades. It started in middle school when you decided to choose certain high school types. So I wanted to do this video to explain how every choice and decision that's made at least 4 to 5 years prior can completely change the trajectory of your child's future. So let's talk a little bit about high school, this transition from 8th to 9th. Most people don't realize that this is a hard transition, not just socially, but also academically. The expectations, just so you know, in middle school versus high school is completely different. Now, I see a lot of people logging in. Hey, everyone. This is a live video. My name is Neha, founder of College Shortcut. Today, I'm talking about the importance of planning ahead in your child's academic future to get the shortcut and getting into the college of your dreams. If you are listening, please make sure to comment below. Say yes if you can hear me. Just want to make sure you can absolutely hear me. Like the video, share it. Would love to see that. Now, I'm talking a little bit about the transition now from 8th to 9th grade. It's a very challenging transition. We see it all the time where students start to really do badly on tests in 9th grade, aren't sure of the expectations. They get confused, and parents are like, just figure it out. You did 8th grade, get ready. I remember when I was a high schooler, and before I went to high school, my parents were like, my sister sat me down and was like, do not bomb your 9th grade year because that will completely affect your GPA. Now, let's talk a little bit about planning ahead. See, the GPA calculated for colleges is 9th grade, first and second semester, 10th grade, first and second semester, 11th grade, first and second semester. Now, this is typically what they see. So you got 6 total semesters to make a difference, really. I mean, yes, senior year does get looked at, but in reality, these are the ones for sure that make a difference in the GPA. So you better believe that those 6 semesters matter. So I just want to kind of explain this a little bit because a lot of people just look at it and they're like, oh, it's not a big deal. Whatever, they're still adjusting to 9th grade, taking time, making B's, whatever, C's. And then in 10th grade, it's like, oh, let me warm up to the experience of high school, maybe join an activity or something. And then junior year, it's like, this is so hard. Oh, so hard. Test prep sucks. I don't know what I want to do. The material's way too hard. So, this, by the way, I see all the freaking time. And if you haven't figured out with your kid how to successfully handle 9th grade, 11th grade is going to make them cry every day. So, I'm just trying to explain to you kind of how the buildup happens. This is an example of someone who, this is called a bad educational strategic strategy. Okay, this is the bad version. Okay, where we just let them flounder a little bit. Floundering, doesn't join activities, no great summer stuff, etc. Okay, and then 12th grade, oh, let me take the test for SAT or ACT again or something, and let me apply. I'll get it done over Xmas break, whatevs. So, I just want to show you an example of what we see a lot in these situations. Now, a lot of times what will happen here, it's second semester, let's meet with the counselor and just have some convos. So this is what I would call this is the typical educational strategy that we see over and over when it comes to planning ahead, which really it's not. I'm going to take a quick second here. I want you to hear from a cool person right about now.
I enjoyed the talk Nia gave today because it really touched me. I look forward to writing essays and sending it to Nia.
It's really inspired me to reach for the stars and try my best. Somebody believes in me, and I feel like I could do it.
All right, glad you enjoyed that little quick break. Okay, so what I want to talk to you about here is about planning ahead. And I put a link below for everyone. We offer the 4-year plan book for free for anyone on our website. And all you have to do is just cover shipping and handling. It's a wonderful way. I sign every copy because I love you guys. But it's a great way to know what to do month to month, all the way from calculation of your GPA to how to help your kid find activities, etc. It's a phenomenal book. Just, you know, I wasn't the only one that wrote it. I had 20 valedictorians with me that had gone to Ivy Leagues and top schools write that book with me. So please definitely check it out below. If you can hear me, I see a lot of people logging in, so please type in yes if you can hear me. Okay, so let's get back to the version here of a bad educational strategy versus a good educational strategy. Okay? So let me tell you what happens here. Let's say you get 9th grades or whatever, 10th grade is mostly B's, and by 11th grade you've got like B pluses and A minuses. Just so you know, the average GPA of this type of student is a 2.9 to 3.1, roughly. Now, the reason why is because, you're like, why is that such a low GPA? The reason it's a low GPA is because they didn't plan early. I'll get into what that means. Let's get into a good educational strategy. Now, would love to hear from you. I'm going to take a quick second here. I'm going to take a quick commercial break. Would love to hear from you. What grade is your kid in, and what questions do you have? I'm going to take a second here to go to commercial break so that you can go ahead and type below. Thanks so much.
Have an overwhelmed student? Bad grades? Low test scores? Or just unable to focus? When it is time for you to find a tutor for your child, just tell us what you need. You can pick from elite, master, or ultimate coaches that I have personally handpicked.
My name is Gretchen. I'm from a small town in Texas, and I was valedictorian in my graduating class.
Valedictorian of my high school class.
I graduated top 1% of my high school.
With a GPA of 3.9 out of 4.
4.0 out of 4.0.
And on our website, you can find in-depth photo and video profiles of each one. And on top of it, you receive a free trackable tutoring report after every single session. Unheard of in the tutoring industry. Moms love working with us because we make their lives easier.
I've had very good experiences with all of the tutors that I've encountered. They're polite, they're together. Kelly made honor roll for the spring semester. I've recommended elite private tutors in the past and will continue to do so.
Join and book free through our online scheduling system to have a tutor smiling and at your door tomorrow. We make moms' lives easier in academic coaching, test prep, college consulting, personal coaching, and much more. Call today.
All right, everyone. For everyone that is logging in, I am Neha Gupta, founder of College Shortcuts. We're going through our 7-day challenge. Today I'm talking about bad planning and good planning when it comes to your child's education. So what I want to talk about now is, this is obviously the bad educational strategy here of 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, because these are the main grades that matter. And then I'll just include here 8th grade. No planning at all. Average grades. Okay? Not a bunch of activities. Okay. So, as you can see, this is an example of what I call a not so planned out strategy. Let's talk about what it takes to really get a good strategy. All right? So, a good educational strategy. Now, just so I am very clear with you, This is a overall viewpoint of it. It's not super specific to your child, and it doesn't give you like the level of customization that we do when we do our family plan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through what are some of the things we recommend, and then also talk a little bit about our family plan and how it works. Okay, so in this good educational strategy, and just so you can come at this at any grade level, okay, with us. It's not like you have to be in middle school to start with us. We do this at every grade to catch students up. So 7th and 8th grade, we talk, let me do this. Why can I not get this unbolded, ununderlined? There we go. We talk about your child's passions, what they're interested in. We make sure the grades are solid. We look into school choices and have open discussions. We want to see if they are overstudying. Do they need help with study skills? There's a lot of stuff to look into at this, because if they are not efficient in studying at this level, they will suffer in high school. We also look into great summer activities that they will love and enjoy, and discuss things they are interested in. So that's what I would say is a big difference between this 7th and 8th grade versus 8th grade, 7th and 8th grade here, where, there's not a lot of strategy and planning. But here, it's about really getting customized with the student. I'm actually going to walk you through kind of how our family plan works when you come into our ecosphere of being very custom towards your child. Now, we work with kids either monthly on this or quarterly. Most families, start off with quarterly, and then they actually want us every month because they love getting the strategic advice and really being reassured that the choices they're making make sense. Let's get into 9th grade. So this is about specifically making sure academic courses are selected properly. This is about studying organizations online or on campus that will do well for your student and make them stand out, unlike the typical ones we see on every single resume. This is about looking into unique summer activities. Also into volunteer ops, and looking into experiences that will help them create their unique angle to stand out. So this is a big one that we see over and over, is most parents want to make their kids well-rounded. Well, we take a different approach of making them stand out by having specific things they look at. And for 10th grade, the same thing applies, except we're also starting to look into PSAT prep. We're also looking into possible online courses they can take, leadership opportunities, more mentorship. This also we're going to look into if we need organizational coaching, planning, tutoring, those types of things. Here as well, we're going to look into 10th grade. Do we need tutoring? How are they doing overall? And building relationships with teachers, etc. By 11th grade, and this is about getting strategic help. So with someone that's gotten students into over the top 100 colleges in the U.S., we're very specific about this for each student. A lot of people ask me questions like, oh, well, can't I do this on my own? Absolutely. You know what? You can also fix your own car on your own, right? Like, it's totally fine. But if you're looking for someone who's been there, done that, knows what it takes, and can look at your child from an outside perspective to show you, hey, this is what we keep seeing in your demographic type, your race, or, the type of things you're doing, we can help you stand out in the process. So that's why I'm just kind of being a little more vague here about what it is we do, because every child is different. Every child has a different genetic makeup. Every child is completely different in the process. So it's really important for us to take this as what I call the foundation of the ingredients of a cake and then flavor it differently depending on each student. I want to say a quick shout out to Crystal Warsabalowski. Crystal. I'll just go with Crystal. Good to see you on. I love the like, by the way. That totally made my day. If you're watching, please like the video or heart it or happy face it. There's so many different emojis, I realized. And if you can hear me, definitely say yes below. Comment, let me know what city and state you're in or what grade your kid is in. I always love to hear from you guys. Okay, so let's get into the next thing. I want you to hear from Lauren. She's one of my favorite moms about her experience with us and also with us consulting with her.
Hi, my name is Lauren Slocum Lahab, and I am honored to be here to talk about elite private tutors and what they did for my son, Joss. Joss, great kid, big heart, but pretty much an average student. And he was really concerned when his senior year came up. He was like, Mom, I don't know if I can get into the colleges that I really want. So when I found elite private tutors, they really understood my son, and we were committed to helping him create a great essay. And they were so great about asking him really great questions, understanding who he is as a person and his mission. And I'm so grateful to them for helping my son understand that he didn't have to have a perfect SAT, he didn't have to have the perfect grades, and that he could still shine, and he got in every college that he desired. So I'm extremely grateful, and I can't wait for my other two kids to work with elite private tutors.
So just so you know, we run two companies here. We run College Shortcuts and Elite Private Tutors. Lauren is an incredible mom who really wanted to get the support for her kid and really get that help that she needed. So today I'm talking a little bit about planning ahead. I'm at 10th grade of A Good Plan. This is Neha Gupta, founder of College Shortcuts. You are part of my 7-day challenge here on how to get into your dream school for your kid. Now, like I said earlier, I was talking about the bad educational strategy where you have no planning, they're just gearing up, they're using 9th and 10th grade as a warm-up instead of hitting the ground running. Not realizing that the minute you step on a high school campus, that is when everything is tracked. Every single thing you do wrong, every single thing you do right. So it's really about making sure that you hit the ground running starting in 9th grade. So also in 7th and 8th grade on a good study plan, I'm showing the good one, we prep them for what is coming in 9th grade and give strategic assistance around making this transition easier. We also offer tons of mentorship throughout these as well. When you have a coach or someone by your side, it makes everything so much more fun. Things click a lot easier. In 11th grade, we're going to look into SAT, ACT prep. Then we're going to look into building out college lists, college visit planning, overall college admissions help. And then 11th grade summer, drafting of all essays and resume. I'm loving how fast I'm typing today. Applications go in August to schools or September latest. And then 12th grade, 12th grade, have a good time, relax, and know everything is submitted. This also means to do well academically and focus on the grades specifically for the first semester. Now, let me clarify that. So as you can see in the strategic planning here, when you have a better plan, you do a lot more front load work, but when the deadlines come, you're not as stressed in the process. So it's really important for you to know that there's a huge difference between a bad plan versus a good plan. So if you see this below right here, you'll see that there's a lot, right? I wrote so much here between 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. But all of a sudden, 12th grade, I've left it like, have a blast, travel a bit, take a break, enjoy a good family vacay in December. Get those acceptances rolling in. When we work with kids, they find out like within 6 weeks sometimes of applying. They apply all orally, and it's done. Done, right? Like I told you, there's people that dream and talk about things here, and they just kind of like roll their way through high school, and then 12th grade, they're just in so much pain. Or there's people that really have someone by their side. They plan it out. They know exactly what happens for each month, specifically for their kid. All the summers are planned out. And you know what? Just so you know, it's not like we take your kid away for the summer and you don't have great family time. I actually encouraged families to take vacations. These are some of the best moments, are these incredible family trips you take with your child. So we actually just strategically plan things out so that you guys can enjoy life, have a great time, and do this entire process to get the shortcut effortlessly to get into a top school. So if you are curious about our family plan, please comment below, type in family plan, and we'd love to get back to you. We've got some incredible discounts going on right now as we're only taking, I think we have 75 spots left. Just since we started this 7-day challenge, we've had a ton of people sign up. Let me look here to see on our sign-up sheet specifically. Let me see. We've got, all right, so Dawn has signed up. Okay, thanks, Dawn. Nice to see you guys. Chelsea, great to see you. We've got Ryan. Awesome. We've got a dad who's signed up already for our family plan. Sarah's in here. Okay, nice to see. Neetha is great. Awesome. We've got Beemal as well, and Amanda have all signed up for our family plan. Okay, Victoria, great. Good to see you. Parul, awesome to see you as well. We've got Jason, Azra's on as well. Dave, okay, we've got a ton of people. Neil, Rushmi. So as you can see, Ritu, Rajiv, tons of people. So there are a lot of people that have signed up with us to get that strategic educational consulting to make sure that where they're at in the process, they're doing it right. So even if your kid is in 11th grade or 10th grade or whatever grade it is, even if it's 8th grade, 7th grade, the family plan is right for you. Now, we've even called around to see what other companies are doing, and we've just never seen anyone that has really built out a plan like ours, and we've actually revamped it and updated it just as of this year. So if you are interested in the family plan and getting something like this where you're reassured that what you're doing works for your family and works well for your kid, where we walk through and make sure where they're at, we can catch any of the pitfalls that are coming. A lot of times parents will put their kids in certain classes in 11th grade, and we'll actually say, hey, if they're not interested in certain majors, being in that AP class doesn't help. We get to the nitty gritty here to make sure that you have a good strategy. And we give a lot of advice regarding summer activities, finding experiences to find their passion, and build upon that year after year after year. From what I've heard from a lot of parents, they just love having someone by their side. People have told me, you know what, Neha, when I applied to college, I literally applied to a few colleges and I got in. We talk with dads that have gone to Harvard, IIT, top universities, and they've said, I don't even think I can get my own kid in legacy. Like, I just don't even know what I'm doing. And that's why we've come in because, times have changed. 69% of students were rejected from Stanford in the last few years that had a perfect GPA and perfect test scores. That was a statistic that mattered when most parents applied. But that's not what matters now. What matters now is your student passionate? What have they done to show, character, resilience, emotional grit? These are the types of things schools are looking for. And we make sure to create those experiences in our family plan, and we customize it to each kid. I'm not a consultant that says, oh, okay, you're interested in this major. Here's this document for you. These are the things you should do. No, we literally work together with your child to figure out what they specifically want. To me, it's really important to customize these. So We do it either monthly with students or quarterly with students. And we've got great price ranges depending on, if you're looking for something on a low budget or mid-budget side to something pretty competitive and intense as well. So it really just depends on what you're looking for. But this, I would say, is kind of the biggest mistake parents do over and over. Just yesterday, I was talking to someone about what I did, and I had 2 people say to me, "Where were you 20 years ago when I was applying to college?" And so I think that's a really, really powerful statement that I keep hearing over and over. And it's actually really painful to hear when someone says, no one sat me through. My parents didn't know that much about this stuff. No one really sat me through this, so I just kind of went through middle school. Then 9th grade, I just kind of like did school and came home and did whatever. 10th grade, I started to do a little better, but the stuff was harder. In 11th grade, I barely took the SAT or ACT once. I actually didn't even really realize it, and then I took it senior year, and over Christmas break, I applied. But I didn't have a lot of activities I showed. I didn't have great summers. I didn't have volunteer opportunities. I didn't do any internships. I didn't really know. I did some things here or there, but it didn't show a unique angle when it came to the application itself. And so that is where a good educational strategy comes in. But it also, let me tell you, it's really fun to do this stuff. Like, we have a blast working with kids early on, and we get them motivated and inspired. The number one question I get from parents is, how do I motivate my kid to do something? Well, I hate to say this to you, but when kids are teenagers, it's really hard for you as a parent to motivate them. Someone that's younger, hipper, fun, just a few steps ahead, and really relates with them, that is how you can really create motivation. That's why getting outside help is really awesome. I mean, let me ask you something. When your parents are talking to you or giving you marital advice or telling you what you should be doing, is it in one ear, out the other? Totally. I mean, there are a lot of times you don't even listen to your own parents. Let's get real about this, right? So if you're really wanting to help your kid and you realize you only have 6 semesters to do this, let me show you what I mean by that. When I say 6 semesters really is all you get. And that typically is, let's say, August, September, October, November, December. Yeah, so we're talking about 5 months each semester. And we're also talking, let's say 4 months really, because there's so many breaks. 4 months, you're talking about 24 months in total, of which you're talking about 4 weeks each month. Okay. And then you're talking about, let me get my calculator out. All right. So you're talking about 96 weeks, of which only have 5 days in them. So check this math out, guys. So really, the amount of time you have to really make an impact is 24 months. Haha. And it's really actually, no, I'm actually right about this because we're talking about school days. So you have 6 semesters that matter. 4 months in each semester, roughly, when you look at all the holidays. That's only 24 months that colleges are getting to see about your child, of which in those 24 months, there's 4 weeks. So when you multiply that out, it's 96 weeks total that they have to do all the different activities. And if you look at school days, it's 480 days total to have a good GPA, test scores, extracurriculars, and so much more. That's barely 1.5 years. So if you're going to correct me and tell me high school is 4 years of you getting to lollygag, you're wrong. It's actually barely a year and a half of time that you have to really make an impact and really make sure you stand out in the process. So if you think about that, technically 20 months of time-ish is not a lot of time to be showing an incredible amount of experience, time, energy, focus. So you have got to have a strategic educational consultant by your side, making sure you're a few steps ahead. Most schools are just preventative, or they talk to you when your kid's progress report comes out, or they sit down and have one meeting and say, hey, your kid sucks at this, you need to get this fixed. Or they'll talk to you at the end of 11th grade and say, hey, what type of schools are you looking for? What do you want? That is not a strategy. That is not helpful. That is not a plan. So, like I wanted to show you today, there's a huge difference, and we deal with these students on a daily basis. This is why we have a lot of people that sign up for our family plan, because they know no matter what grade their kid is in, they would love to get some reassurance, love to know that what they're doing as a parent is right. They want to make sure that they're giving their kids the absolute best chances in life, period. Those are the types of parents I look for when we look at our total of 100 families we work with. And just so you know, we put you one-on-one with a highly trained senior consultant who's gotten to Ivy League's top schools to help you in this process. We make it easy for you. We make it effortless. And when you have a strategy and all you have to do is implement and execute it, it is so much better than trying to be creative and trying to figure out. That's what this looks like. And then, we really walk through and we find out what your kid's actually interested in. We make sure they're motivated, they have confidence, they have good friends. We talk about all the different aspects of high school to make sure they're taken care of. I mean, there's nothing worse than getting the call, hey, your kid was caught in a DUI, or hey, your kid was caught, they're arrested in a party because there was weed and drugs. These are not the kinds of things you want, because they're very hard when you're out applying to college. So this is why we have mentors on our team to really make sure that kids are surrounded by the right types of people. They have someone to look up to. They have the right caring people around them to support them every single year of high school. So I hope this was extremely helpful for you to kind of see the difference between a bad plan and a good plan, and why it's amazing to have someone, even if it's 4 times a year, just to check in with your kid. Or if it's someone monthly, really speeding up the competitiveness. This is why we built out the family plan. It's an extraordinary program that we've designed for families just like you that have been watching my whole 7-day challenge. And like I already told you, we already have 25 spots filled. I'm going to check in and see here with my sales team. All right, I see we've got Taylor has signed up, Colleen has signed up, Usha has signed up. Thank you guys. This is great to see. Ashish has signed up, Sid. Okay, Jimmy, Annie, Anu. Okay, great. So we're seeing a lot of people sign up. I'd say probably at this point we maybe have a few more spots left for our family plan. If this is something you are interested in and ready to take action, please type in family below or family plan below, and we would love to help you. I hope you've enjoyed this video of me telling you a little bit about the differences between a bad strategic plan and a really effective strategy with someone that has done this over and over for the last decade. So please make sure to comment below. Let me know what you think, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Have an incredible, incredible day. I'm going to end here today just showing you about why it's so important to have a coach or mentor for your child.